Welcome to Project Read Literacy Network's annual general meeting for 2019-2020. We would like to give a thank you to our funders and sponsors for this year, the Lyle S. Hallman Foundation, the Regional Municipality of Waterloo, Unifor Local 1106, Ontario Ministry of Labour, Training and Skills Development, the Kitchener and Waterloo Community Foundation, and the Waterloo Regional Record. Project Read has a lot of different committees that we work on. Some of those committees are Baby Connections, Community Employment and Literacy Committee, the Guelph-Wellington Employment and Training Committee, the Literacy Servicing Planning Committees for both regions, and Poverty Task Force. The list goes on. The pictures that you're about to see are from our Family Literacy Fun Night at the A.R. Kaufman School, one of the many different types of events that we hold. In the community, we do different things. We go out and promote. We meet with MPs like Raj Saini or MPPs like Mike Schreiner to promote literacy. And we attend community events like KW Rehabilitation's Scotch tasting event. We want to give a thank you to our core program and project staff. We're so lucky to have such great staff. Their enthusiasm for their work they do just never wanes. While the faces may change and the names may change, we grow, and they are the heart of this organization. I want to give also a thank you out to our board of directors and committee members. If the staff is the heart of Project Read, the board is the soul. These dedicated individuals provide guidance and strategic direction and are the first people to pitch in and help out when it comes to fundraising events or requests from staff. It's not easy being a volunteer director. It's a job that you don't get paid for, and yet you put a great deal of effort and caring towards. These are the people that are the leaders and visionaries and help Project Read continue to be successful and grow. This family literacy map is what we want to show when we're talking about our Get Set Learn program. We had 46 families with 54 children participate in Get Set Learn at 6 different sites last year. This program was made possible with the support of our community partners, who are Stanley Park Community Association, Highland Sterling Community Group, Kinbridge Community Association, and the City of Kitchener. Get Set Learn 2020, for the first time, we had to take this online. Get Set Learn continues to successfully deliver family literacy programming. In 2019, we showed full attendance and results are outstanding. In the spring of 2020, we planned GSL Online for the first time. We will report about this innovation at our next AGM, but it has been a very successful pivot. So parents who participate in Get Set Learn show higher frequency of reading, writing, and math activities with their children at home, increased confidence and more positive attitudes towards learning in school, and increased awareness of how essential skills are used at work, home, and in the community. Our results show that our program is having an impact for families in our community. Parents are the drivers of what takes place in the home. Changes in parents' skills and attitudes affects both parent and child success in school, life, and work. And now one of our big projects this year, the Families First project. This was a big year for family literacy at Project Read, as we were granted funds to implement the plans we made in the Families First project from last year. In the past year for this project, we developed a family literacy certification program to support other community agencies to deliver the Get Set Learn program, a family literacy training program to support other community agencies and parents to incorporate family literacy in their practices and everyday life, and a family literacy program to support Get Set Learn participants as well as other families in the community. There was a lot to do, but we are excited to say that these programs have been developed, tested, and are ready for participants to engage. Educational assessments. We assessed a total of 154 Ontario Works clients between April 1st and March 31st, 2020. Previous year, we did 164. When you consider that that's only 10 assessment different and we had COVID to deal with in 2020, this is a pretty impressive result. This year, we adapted quickly to the COVID-19 concerns and began offering educational assessments virtually to continue to serve learners. We developed PRLN office safety protocols to allow in-person assessments to continue safely until Region of Waterloo once again allows community partners access into their buildings. But let's talk about the programs we work with. Literacy services. We provide coordination of literacy services throughout Waterloo and Wellington. This means we provide supports to practitioners through expertise, meetings, training, marketing, and advocacy. Literacy programs include community-based programs, school boards, and colleges. This pie chart shows the majority of learners in Waterloo-Wellington are in academic upgrading at the college, then the school boards, and finally the community-based programs. This makes sense when you consider that the community-based programs are dealing with the lowest level learners and require more intensive supports, including one-to-one tutoring and small group programming. School boards take the next level of learners towards employment and high school credits, while the college focuses mainly on post-secondary goals. So, who are the learners in Waterloo-Wellington? Learners in our programs are mostly under the age of 30. This graph shows how unique that is to our region compared to the Western region programs in the light blue and the entire province in the yellow. 20 years ago, the average learner was a male over 40. Now it's just over 50% female, and they are youth. Unfortunately, this can be shown to be a direct correlation to the Educational Equality and Accountability Office results. We don't have those figures for 2019-20 due to COVID, but from the previous year, 19% of students in Guelph-Wellington who were eligible for the grade 10 literacy test didn't meet the provincial standards. To put that into actual numbers, that's 422 students who were not successful in just the Upper Grand District School Board. That number increased to 21% for Waterloo Region, and that number of students was 1,154. That's just 1 year. The total number of students we were able to serve within Guelph-Wellington in our own programs in Waterloo Region in this past year was 2,063. That's why these EQAO numbers are significant. Looking at the math results for applied math in grade 9, 48% of these students are not reaching the provincial standard in Waterloo Region, and that drops a little bit to Guelph-Wellington, but it's still 38%. These numbers show why we're seeing a steady influx of youth into our adult literacy programs. We advocate that the majority of learners live in poverty. This graph shows you that the majority of learners, 54.6% in Waterloo-Wellington, either have no source of income or on Ontario Works or the Ontario Disability Support Program, neither of which reaches the poverty line in Canada. Even though we do support more learners in Waterloo-Wellington who are employed, they are mostly working in low-paying jobs or in precarious employment. The majority of learners in our programs don't have a grade 12 education. We also show having a higher number of high school graduates than the Western region or the province. Interestingly, learners indicate themselves whether they have a high school education or not. And this can include individuals from all other countries. A high school education in more impoverished countries usually is not equivalent to our high school diploma. An interesting statistic is the number of learners that indicate they had a history of interrupted education. It's quite high, 65% of learners in Waterloo-Wellington. This could be anything from multiple moves to illness to unstable homes. The reason behind the interrupted education is kept confidential. Now, let's move on to the committees of the board, starting with the ever-important Fundraising Committee. Since we only receive ministry funding of $95,700 per year to run our organization, This has to include salaries, office space, insurance, travel, supplies, all the core costs. It's obviously not going to cover all of that, so we need to fundraise. And here are the members of our fundraising committee. Fundraising also works to bring in donations to Project READ. Last fiscal year, this committee helped to bring in over $14,000 to our organization. We also held quarter auctions. We ran 2 successful quarter auctions in 2019-20, and we had one booked for the spring of 2020, but unfortunately due to COVID, that had to stop. But let's look at our quarter auction vendors, and we want to thank them. We want to give first off a special thanks to David Moody of Sunset Gourmet, who also took on the extra duties of being our auctioneer at these events. But these vendors include Fifth Avenue, Needles and Hooks, Norwex, Pampered Chef, Procrastination, Sensi, Steep Tea, Sunset Gourmet, Sweet Legs, 31 Bags, Vitamin C, Vox Socks, and Wickedly Delicious. It's important that they come to these events, but they also help to support our fundraising. Then we had the Race to a Race. This is a fun fundraiser with teams of 3 to 4 people. Here's one of our teams, the Project READ Literacy Ninjas from last year. During COVID this year, we also held online fundraising workshops to try to raise funds. We did Learn to Sing, injury-specific workout class, a dance class workout session, a henna workshop, fun Dr. Seuss debate, portrait marathon, resume writing and job interviews, how to make samosas and pakoras, diversity and inclusion in the workplace. We also have our website tech committee, and special thanks to these committee members. These folks have helped us to transfer all the board information and documents from the Wix website to Google Drive. They also helped us to apply for Google Suite for nonprofits, and they've been our sounding board and experts on using the new platforms through Google. They will continue to work over the next year on updating our main website and connecting the Get Set Learn website with the Project READ website. The board members here and Robin, I'm going to leave myself out, I'm Jane, have been our techie gurus and have been invaluable to the staff's mental health. So Family Literacy Day in 2020 still went on at the end of January. It's usually the last Sunday in January. And this year we made newspaper hats, pirate hats, and decorated them with stickers. The children loved it. We were joined at our table by 415 people. That's 193 adults and 222 children. And then came the pandemic. And with that, at the end of 2019-20, we were all facing a new world with COVID-19. One of our programs refers to it as the damn pandemic. Project READ staff showed their agility and flexibility. We created an online assessment as our face-to-face assessment would not go online due to copyright issues, and started to provide OWODSP assessments via Google Meets. In the fall, we set up many protocols and now provide in-person assessments in our office for 1 day per week. Family Literacy has continued to provide programming by running the groups virtually with amazing results from reducing isolation to increasing well-being. Children and parents are excited and engaged. Unfortunately, we also received bad news this fall that the region of Waterloo will not be funding family literacy programming in the new year. But we're very lucky because the Lyle S. Hallman Foundation, that's currently funding our Families First project, saw what was happening to many nonprofit organizations during the pandemic. No fundraising, no sponsorships, and reduced funding. And they gave many of us a very generous grant to make the financial pressure go away. This will allow us to continue to run our Get Set Learn programs in 2021 while looking for other funding. We have been busy supporting our literacy programs with providing services throughout COVID, from bringing frontline staff together to having joint Waterloo-Wellington literacy meetings monthly, helping programs to share their best practices with each other and to feel connected. We also took the concerns and learners' concerns to the provincial government through reports and through the budget consultation process. The future looks good. We've proven to ourselves and our community that we can continue to move forward even when there are many barriers put in front of us. We're strong and only getting stronger. Thank you for joining us today.